Babylon, a name that echoes through the corridors of time, conjuring images of lost grandeur and mystery. The name whispers of legend, of immense wealth, towering structures, and kings who claim to speak with the gods. It is a city woven into the fabric of myth, its stories passed down through generations. For centuries this city was more than a place, it was the heart of the ancient world, a beacon of power and knowledge. Babylon drew people from distant lands, all seeking fortune, wisdom, or simply a glimpse of its wonders. Its story is scattered in the desert sands, a puzzle waiting to be pieced together. Each artifact unearthed is a clue, each inscription a fragment of a forgotten tale. Babylon's legacy is a paradox, a place of biblical infamy and historical brilliance. It is both a symbol of human pride and a testament to our capacity for innovation. It was the cradle of law, the birthplace of astronomy, where the first codes of justice were etched in stone and the stars were mapped with astonishing precision. And a center of profound curiosity. Scholars, priests, and thinkers gathered here, pushing the boundaries of what was known. How could one city be both feared and admired? Its reputation was as complex as its history, inspiring awe and suspicion in equal measure. Its power lay in inspiring awe and dread. The city's walls, adorned with mythic beasts, seemed to guard secrets as old as time itself. Babylon built on a scale that defied imagination, shaping society in ways we still feel today. Its influence can be traced in our laws, our sciences, and even our stories. Imagine standing at its gates, the air thick with incense, the sounds of many languages, and colossal walls shimmering in the sun. Merchants, travelers, and dreamers all converged here, adding to the city's vibrant tapestry. This was not just a city, it was a declaration of humanity's ambition and genius. Every brick, every monument was a testament to what people could achieve together. Today, as we sift through its ruins, we uncover the very foundations of civilization. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding the people who once called Babylon home. To understand Babylon, we must look beyond legend and listen to the echoes in the dust, echoes that still speak of ambition, wonder, and the enduring enigma of this ancient city. Long before legend, Babylon was a modest settlement on the vast Mesopotamian plains, its beginnings humble and almost unremarkable to the outside world. In those early days it was overshadowed by the grandeur and influence of cities like Ur and Uruk, whose towering ziggurats and bustling streets drew the attention of traders and kings alike. Yet, Babylon's name, Babelim, the gate of the god, hinted at a destiny far greater than its modest origin suggested. Its rise, however, was anything but guaranteed. The secret to Babylon's future lay in its location. Nestled at the crossroads of vital trade routes, it connected the riches of the Persian Gulf with the distant Mediterranean, making it a natural meeting point for merchants, travelers, and ideas. The Amorites, ambitious newcomers from the west, recognized Babylon's promise. They arrived with dreams of power, settling among the locals and laying the groundwork for a new dynasty that would one day shape history. As the mighty Sumerian empires fractured and fell, Babylon's leaders seized every opportunity. They forged alliances with neighboring tribes, and when diplomacy failed, they did not hesitate to wage war to secure their future. Through innovation, they expanded their lands with intricate irrigation systems, transforming arid soil into fertile fields. Defensive walls rose, and Babylon's influence began to reach beyond its borders. The city itself blossomed, mud brick houses clustered along winding streets, small temples echoed with prayers, and lively markets filled the air with the sounds and scents of daily life. Here, in this vibrant crucible, Babylonian identity was forged, a unique blend of Sumerian tradition and Amorite ambition, creating a culture unlike any other in the region. The foundations of Babylon were laid not just with bricks and mortar but with a vision, one of unity, ambition, and the dream of empire. As its gates opened to the world, Babylon was no longer just a settlement, it was becoming a beacon for the region, ready to welcome new peoples and new ideas. From these humble beginnings, Babylon was poised to rise, transforming itself into a regional power whose influence would echo through the ages. The stage was set for greatness, and Babylon was ready to claim its place in history. Babylon's greatness is inseparable from Hammurabi. His name echoes through history as the king who elevated a city to the heart of an empire, and whose vision shaped the destiny of Mesopotamia. Ascending the throne in 1792 BCE, Hammurabi inherited a respectable but unremarkable kingdom, surrounded by powerful rivals and shifting alliances. Babylon was not yet the legendary city it would become. Hammurabi was patient and strategic, consolidating power, strengthening his administration, and building a loyal, disciplined army before striking at the right moment. He understood that true power required both strength and wisdom. When the balance of power broke, Hammurabi acted decisively. He conquered rivals with a masterful blend of force and diplomacy, forging alliances and outmaneuvering enemies. Through these efforts, he united Mesopotamia under Babylon's banner. But Hammurabi's true legacy was carved in stone, the Code of Hammurabi, a monumental achievement in the history of law and governance. This set of 282 laws, inscribed on a black basalt stele, governed every aspect of life, from trade and property to family and justice. It was one of the earliest and most comprehensive legal codes in the ancient world. The code introduced the principle of an eye for an eye, but also offered nuanced justice based on social status, recognizing the complexities of society and the need for fairness. By making laws public and accessible, Hammurabi replaced cycles of personal vengeance with state-administered justice, creating a sense of order and predictability for his people. Everyone, from nobles to slaves, knew their rights and responsibilities. The law was no longer a mystery, but a foundation for daily life and social stability. Hammurabi built an empire of order, not just conquest. His reforms touched every corner of society, from administration to commerce. His laws became a model for future civilizations, influencing legal systems across the ancient Near East and beyond. Under Hammurabi, Babylon was transformed into the capital of a vast, unified empire, renowned for its culture, innovation, and justice. Hammurabi's vision and leadership transformed Babylon into a beacon of justice and civilization, admired by generations to come. His rule marked the dawn of a new era, one where law, order, and enlightened governance would shape the course of history. Under Hammurabi, Babylon became an architectural marvel, designed to awe gods and mortals alike. The city's grid was bisected by the Euphrates and protected by immense double walls. The Ishtar Gate, adorned with blue bricks and sacred animals, welcomed all who entered. At the city's heart stood the Ziggurat Etemenanki, the likely inspiration for the Tower of Babel. Adjacent was the Esagila Temple, Marduk's earthly home, where rituals maintained cosmic order and the king's right to rule. Processional ways and bustling quays filled the city with life and commerce. Babylon was a living cosmos, reflecting the Babylonians' ordered view of the universe. Its temples and palaces were more than buildings, they were the axis of empire. The city's grandeur was a testament to its ambition and faith. The Babylonians were not just builders and conquerors, they were pioneers of science and mathematics. Driven by a desire to understand the gods, they became the world's first astronomers, charting stars and planets from ziggurat tops. Their base 60 math system survives in our timekeeping and geometry. They solved complex equations and calculated square roots with remarkable accuracy. Babylonian astronomers predicted eclipses and tracked the zodiac, laying the groundwork for later science. Their records, inscribed on clay tablets, influenced Greek and Roman astronomers. In medicine, they combined observation with practical remedies, diagnosing illnesses and prescribing treatments. While religion motivated their studies, their approach was systematic and empirical. In every field, they sought order and meaning in a complex world. Babylon's scientific legacy endures in our daily lives. Religion permeated every aspect of Babylonian life. At the top stood Marduk, whose rise mirrored Babylon's own. The Enuma Elish tells how Marduk defeated chaos, creating order and earning his place as king of the gods. The king ruled as Marduk's chosen, maintaining cosmic order through ritual and governance. The Akitu festival, a 12-day New Year celebration, reaffirmed the king's legitimacy and the empire's prosperity. The Asagila temple was both a religious and economic powerhouse, employing thousands and amassing wealth. The high priest of Marduk rivaled the king in influence. Daily rituals were believed essential for the world's survival. For ordinary Babylonians, religion was personal. Amulets, minor gods, and divination shaped daily life. Every event from birth to death was marked by ritual. The gods were ever present, demanding, and vital to a good life. Marduk reigned supreme, but Babylon's pantheon was rich and diverse. Ishtar, goddess of love and war, embodied both beauty and ferocity, her gate a symbol of protection. Nabu, god of wisdom and writing, was the patron of scribes and keeper of knowledge. His temples housed libraries preserving literature and science. Shamash, the sun god, embodied justice and truth, granting Hammurabi's laws divine authority. People appealed to Shamash for fairness, trusting his all-seeing eye. Other gods like Ea and Sin formed a divine family mirroring human society. The Babylonians saw their world reflected in the heavens, each deity maintaining cosmic balance. Every aspect of life was guided by a powerful divine patron. Under Hammurabi, Babylon was a military and cultural powerhouse. Its army, skilled and well-equipped, conquered and integrated new territories as provinces ruled by royal governors. Tribute from these lands enriched the capital, but Babylonian rule was more than force. They mastered cultural assimilation, adopting and adapting local traditions. Akkadian became the empire's lingua franca, uniting diverse peoples. Babylonian literature, law, and science spread far beyond its borders. Diplomacy and marriage alliances were key tools, supported by a network of messengers and spies. The era saw a golden age of art and literature, with scribes preserving epics like Gilgamesh. Babylon's influence shaped the ancient world for centuries. Its cultural legacy outlasted its empire. Empires built by brilliant rulers often falter after their passing. After Hammurabi's death, his successors lacked his skill, and the empire began to fracture. Rebellions and rival kingdoms chipped away at Babylonian power. Internal struggles and weak leadership further weakened the state. Economic decline and environmental problems led to unrest. The empire contracted, losing its grip on distant territories. The final blow came from the Hittites, who sacked Babylon around 1595 BCE. The city, once the world's center, was left in ruins. Yet Babylon's light was not extinguished. Its knowledge and culture endured, influencing later empires and civilizations. The city would rise again, but Hammurabi's golden age was over. Babylon's fall is a timeless reminder of the fragility of even the greatest empires. The dust of centuries had settled over Babylon, once the heart of a mighty kingdom. Its streets, once alive with the footsteps of merchants and priests, now lay silent beneath the weight of forgotten years. Its ziggurats crumbled, canals silted, and the city faded into a shadow of its former self. The grandeur of its temples and palaces was slowly erased by wind and time, leaving only echoes of greatness. Babylon became a vassal, ruled by the powerful Assyrian Empire, its spirit seemingly broken. The proud city bowed to foreign rulers, its people forced to adapt to new masters. Yet, beneath the surface, the old ways endured. Stories, knowledge, and pride passed quietly through generations. In whispered tales and careful teachings, Babylon's heritage survived, hidden but alive. The Tigris and Euphrates flowed on, silent witnesses to Babylon's long decline. Their waters remembered the city's triumphs and sorrows, carrying its legacy onward. The city's strategic and cultural importance kept it alive, but its soul remained unconquered. Babylon's name still inspired awe, even as its power waned. The people waited for a true Babylonian leader to restore their city's glory. Hope flickered in their hearts, refusing to be extinguished by hardship. This was not emptiness, but anticipation, a seed waiting for the right moment to burst forth. In the silence, dreams of renewal quietly took root. Empires clashed around Babylon, but the city endured, poised for rebirth. Through chaos and conflict, its spirit remained unbroken. In this turmoil, a new dynasty, the Chaldeans, rose from within. Their ambition and vision promised a new dawn for Babylon. They carried the dreams of their ancestors, ready to unleash a storm of change. The city's destiny was about to be rewritten by those who remembered its greatness. Babylon was about to enter one last, brilliant age of glory, a final blaze that would echo through history. Out of Babylon's long subjugation emerged Nebuchadnezzar II, a visionary king and architect of empire. Ascending the throne in 605 BCE, he transformed Babylon's newfound independence into an era of magnificence. His military genius expanded the empire from the Persian Gulf to Egypt. Nebuchadnezzar rebuilt Babylon, massive double walls, the legendary Tower of Babel, and the dazzling Ishtar Gate. The city became a spectacle, grand processional ways, blue-glazed walls, and vibrant reliefs of gods and beasts. Every brick declared Babylon's return to greatness. Under his reign, Babylon flourished as a political, economic, and cultural capital. Tribute and goods poured in, funding colossal projects and enriching the city. He restored canals, turning the land fertile and prosperous. Nebuchadnezzar's vision made him the second founder of Babylon, reviving its ancient dream. He turned memory into reality, ushering in Babylon's golden age. Of all Nebuchadnezzar's achievements, none is more legendary than the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Said to be built for his homesick wife, Amadis, the gardens were described as a lush, terraced mountain in the heart of the city. Water was supposedly lifted from the Euphrates by ingenious engineering, keeping the gardens vibrant. Yet Babylonian records are silent, no mention of such a wonder in Nebuchadnezzar's own inscriptions. This mystery has fueled debate. Were the gardens a later Greek invention, or did they exist elsewhere, perhaps in Assyrian Nineveh? Some scholars believe the legend was misattributed, inspired by Sennacherib's gardens in Nineveh. The Hanging Gardens remain a tantalizing puzzle, one of history's most beautiful enigmas. Whether myth or reality, their story endures as a symbol of Babylon's splendor. The truth remains lost in the sands of time. Nebuchadnezzar's ambition extended far beyond Babylon's walls, reaching into the very heart of the ancient world. To the west, the kingdom of Judah became a target after repeated rebellions and shifting alliances with Egypt, drawing Babylon's relentless gaze. In 597 BCE, Babylonian forces conquered Jerusalem, exiling its king and elite and sending shockwaves through the region. A decade later, another rebellion led to a brutal siege, as hope flickered and faded within Jerusalem's battered walls. The Babylonians breached Jerusalem's walls, unleashing devastation and chaos upon the city's inhabitants. The Temple of Solomon, the heart of Jewish worship and identity, was looted and burned to the ground. This destruction was a national trauma, marking the end of an era for Judah and shattering the spirit of its people. The city lay in ruins, its people scattered or exiled, its streets eerily silent beneath the weight of loss. Nebuchadnezzar deported the remaining leaders to Babylon, beginning the long and painful Babylonian exile. Judah ceased to exist as an independent state, its sovereignty erased from the map. The poorest remained, tending the land in the shadow of destruction, while the nation's heart was carried away in chains. This conquest was more than military victory. It reshaped Judaism and world history, leaving a legacy that endures to this day. The exile forced a profound transformation in Jewish faith and identity, inspiring new traditions and sacred texts. Babylon's triumph over Jerusalem echoed through generations, a story retold in sorrow and hope. The memory of this loss would shape the future of a people, forging resilience and faith that would endure for centuries. The Babylonian captivity was a time of deep sorrow for the Jewish people, torn from their homeland and temple. Yet in exile they found new ways to preserve their faith, focusing on Sabbath, circumcision, and sacred texts. The Hebrew Bible began to take shape, transforming Judaism from a temple-based religion to one centered on Scripture. Synagogues emerged as places of prayer and study. Prophets like Ezekiel and Jeremiah offered hope, interpreting exile as a test, not abandonment. Exposure to Babylonian culture influenced Jewish thought, introducing new ideas about angels, demons, and the afterlife. The captivity forged a resilient identity, laying the foundation for modern Judaism and Christianity. Out of tragedy, a stronger faith and culture emerged. Babylon was a center of knowledge where science and religion intertwined. Priests charted the stars atop ziggurats, believing celestial events were divine messages. Their observations led to the world's first true astronomy, predicting eclipses, mapping planets, and creating the zodiac. Babylonian mathematics based on 60 gave us the 60-minute hour and 360-degree circle. Yet, science and superstition coexisted. Omens and magic shaped daily life. Kings consulted diviners before major decisions, seeking guidance from the gods. Amulets, rituals, and exorcisms were common, blurring the line between natural and supernatural. This unified worldview drove their quest to understand the cosmos. Babylon's intellectual legacy influenced later civilizations from Greece to Rome. Their pursuit of knowledge was a grand attempt to read the mind of the gods. Babylon's golden age faded quickly after Nebuchadnezzar's death. Weak successors and court intrigue destabilized the empire. Nabonidus, the last native king, neglected Babylon, favoring the moon god Sin over Marduk. This alienated the powerful Marduk priesthood, deepening divisions. While Nabonidus was away, his son Belshazzar ruled a crumbling empire. The famous story of Belshazzar's feast captured the city's sense of doom, a kingdom weighed and found wanting. Meanwhile, Cyrus the Great of Persia rose in the east, uniting Medes and Persians. Babylon's leadership grew complacent, disconnected from its people and traditions. The city, weakened by internal strife, was vulnerable. Cyrus eyed Babylon's legendary wealth, preparing for conquest. The writing was on the wall. Babylon's end was near. The empire's foundations cracked, and its fate was sealed. A new power was about to claim the ancient city. Babylon's fall came swiftly in 539 BCE, as Cyrus the Great's Persian army defeated the Babylonians at Opis. The battle was decisive, and the news of the Persian victory spread quickly across the land, sending shockwaves through the ancient world. Cyrus presented himself as a liberator, not a conqueror, winning the support of Babylon's priesthood. He promised to respect their gods and restore order, which earned him trust among the city's elite. Ancient sources describe how Cyrus was welcomed into the city, claiming Marduk's blessing. The people, weary of conflict, saw hope in his arrival. The gates opened and Persian troops entered peacefully. No siege, no destruction. Babylon was spared the horrors of war, its streets remaining calm. Herodotus tells of a dramatic river diversion, but the result was the same. Babylon fell in a single night. The city's fate was sealed with remarkable speed. The Neo-Babylonian Empire ended, but the city itself survived. Babylon's walls and temples stood as silent witnesses to a new era. Cyrus treated Babylon with respect, worshipping at Marduk's shrine and continuing its traditions. He honored the city's customs, blending Persian and Babylonian ways. He allowed the city to remain an important center in his vast empire, ensuring its prosperity and influence continued under Persian rule. The Golden Age was over, but Babylon's legacy endured. Its culture and achievements would inspire generations to come. The city's spirit lived on under new rule, adapting to the changes brought by its Persian overlords. Babylon's story entered a new chapter shaped by Persian hands, as it continued to thrive and evolve in the centuries that followed. Babylon's legacy echoed through the ages, shaping law, science, and culture. Hammurabi's code influenced future legal systems, embedding the idea of written justice. Babylon's scientific achievements, astronomy, mathematics, the zodiac, were passed to Greece and Rome. The city became a symbol of both knowledge and decadence, inspiring myth and cautionary tales. For the Jewish people, Babylon represented both trauma and transformation, shaping theology and identity. In Western culture, Babylon became a metaphor for worldly power and moral warning. Today, its ruins are a quiet reminder of past greatness and the enduring power of ideas. Babylon's story is one of rise, glory, and the lessons of human ambition and frailty.